Let me tell you, I don't think I've ever been this terrified in my life.
Bruh.
Hello people, welcome back to the channel. I am Ben Portals, and today we are doing a film review of The Exorcist Believer. Now, I know this is probably a bit of a weird setup, but with my previous film review, which was on Theatre Camp, it was a bit of a rush job. I didn't have time to work out like a proper sort of setting with my avatar. Like I had a background, but like for each expression, it was all in one pose. Part of me wasn't that pleased with it, so I am currently working on a different setting, different poses, different all that. But for now, you're gonna get used to seeing this face for a bit. Like I will be returning to avatar talking eventually, but there might still be moments where I might appear on camera, but until then, this might be the norm. So, The Exorcist Believer, a spiritual sequel to the 1973 original, all the way back 50 years ago. Now, I haven't actually seen the original movie.
No! God, please, no! No!
Which honestly, I really should have by now. It is definitely on my Halloween watch list this year, mainly because it's having a re-release in a few weeks. So I'll have to check that out. And the movie, sorry, this is unscripted. The movie actually came out today, but I actually ended up seeing it on Tuesday, 2 days ago. So let me give some context first, because it's going to explain a few things. So almost 2 weeks ago, I went to a Comic-Con convention, and there was a promotional booth for the movie, and it was part of a competition where you could get your photo taken. Where it looks like you're floating in, like you're being possessed. And random 5 people who posted their photo on Instagram with the film's distributor, Universal, tagged, would win a double pass to a exclusive preview of the movie. And I just so happened to win that, which I happened to be one of those 5 people, so that was crazy.
Crazy? I was crazy once. They locked me in a room. A rubber room with rats. And rats make me crazy.
So the day eventually came, I went to see it, I had a good time with the stuff beforehand. As for the movie, whereas the original, as from what I've heard, is one of, if not the most terrifying horror film out there, Believer might just be the most horrifying horror film I've seen. Like, I have a feeling that this movie is gonna make way for a new generation of fans. And, myself included, actually. Like, the acting that came out of these 2 girls who were getting possessed. So the premise of the movie is these group of parents who are trying to save two daughters from full possession, and they even enlist the help of Chris McNeil, who, for the first time in series history, is reprised by Ellen Burstyn. I hope I said that right. So, yeah, the acting coming from these 2 girls was incredible. Like, I had seen child actors in horror films like It and A Quiet Place, but the ones I saw in this movie, that was another level. I was beyond terrified and impressed at the same time. And like all the other actors, Leslie Odom Jr., Ellen Burstyn, they were fine as well, but they didn't really hold a candle for me. Like, I was just on the edge of my seat, and a lot of the effects are pretty good. They looked practical, and it looks like they only ever used CGI for the stuff that was like required for CGI, particularly around the ending, which I will try my best not to spoil because the movie just came out and I was on an embargo, which meant I couldn't review it until today, but that's fine. But yeah, the effects looked practical, and I really, really liked that. I always love whenever the effects in a movie are mostly practical. A recent example was Oppenheimer that came out recently, and then there's also this, which also was a impressive showcase. Why am I yawning on camera? That's not right. Another thing that I really liked was the pacing. Each scene felt long and short enough to keep me invested in how scary the film was getting, and none of the scenes really felt like it was wasting time. They naturally helped the admittedly familiar story progress, but I mean, maybe when I do see the original, I might look upon this movie and think, oh, this is very similar. But, who knows, I still have a few weeks. And, yeah, the pacing to each scene was spot on. And, I also thought that the scares were pretty effective. Like I was beyond terrified that it was a miracle that I stayed in the cinema for that long, especially since it was a VMAX cinema, which, as you Americans call it, a IMAX cinema, which does actually sound better, but whatever. But it was, yeah, I was scared shitless.
Language!
I guess if I, okay, so like it's not a perfect horror movie. I did have a problem with the lack of a musical score at some scenes, particularly around the first third of the movie. It could just be me, but the score in a movie is good, but particularly around the first third, like I said, I barely heard it, and that can be an issue because a score should go on for an entire movie. Sometimes scenes with no scores can work, but for here, there were long stretches where there wasn't a score, and that was kind of weird. And I also feel like there's going to be people who love the original movie to death, and they're going to look at this movie, watch it, and maybe be a bit disappointed. I don't know. I haven't seen any critical reception before recording this, so, and like, yeah, I went into this movie not knowing any critical reception because reviews weren't even out yet. I mean, I guess everyone else was under an embargo. But since this movie was my introduction to the Exorcist franchise, it made me a fan. And this isn't the first time I was a fan of something from something new, and it's not going to be the last either. And yeah, I think that's about it. I think that's all I initially typed in a script. Like, this was going to be like my theater camp review, but I wanted to get this review out to you guys as soon as I could, and just let you know that I had a really good time with this movie, even though I might never watch this again, because I walked out of the cinema with a terrified expression that stayed with me for quite a while, and a part of that was thanks to the ending, which, again, won't spoil, but it had me gasping at one point, and I even got teary-eyed a bit. But there is also another surprise that I think might actually make fans of the original happy. Because even though I hadn't seen the original, I certainly appreciated what they did here. So, let's give it 9 out of 10. Extraordinary. Might be a mixed bag for fans of the original, but for newcomers, this is a definite watch for the spooky October. So, yeah, what did you guys think? Did you love it like I did? Did you hate it? Did you just like it? Did you just think it wasn't that good? Or are you somewhere in between? Let me know in the comments, I'm curious. Don't forget to like the video, subscribe if you're new, and ring the bell to be notified on those videos, and follow me on my other social medias that are on my link tree. Yes, I'm using a link tree. I have way too many social medias. I can't exactly list them all. And if you want to support me even further, I opened a Patreon page if you want to support me with my YouTube side, my art side, or both. Speaking of which, before I do end the video, I do want to let you guys know that I am thinking of making a video letting you guys know what I've been doing over my break, why it seems like there might still be long stretches in between videos. Just because I'm out of school doesn't mean I'm entirely free. Like, I still have a life outside of YouTube, like having fun with friends, possibly getting a job, just all that. So there might still be long stretches with videos, especially with my avatar talking related videos with just me under a character's, well, in this case, not exactly drawing, but keynote shape, custom shape creation of myself. Yeah, I don't really use a art software for my art, which may seem like cheating, but I self-taught myself with that. So, yeah, I think I should probably end this video here, and yeah, let me know what you guys thought of The Exorcist Believer down in the comments if you've seen it. And until next time, take care of yourselves.